Good morning. Today is Wednesday, October 15th. This is Wake Up with KERA News, and I'm Andrew Garcia. It remains warm today and looks to stay that way all this week. Highs have come down very slightly for today into the upper 80s. For many Gen Z and millennials, traditional art institutions like museums and concert halls aren't where they're spending their money. Hear about an existential threat to arts funding. That's after the news. The Dallas Police Department is not partnering with ICE. KERA's Megan Cardona reports that update comes after months of concern from residents and the Community Police Oversight Board.
Dallas residents and the Community Police Oversight Board have wanted clarity on the city's plans to work with ICE for months. This was prompted by ICE's 287G program, which allows its agents to collaborate with state and local law enforcement in the arrest and deportation of immigrants. But Dallas Police Chief Daniel Como says the department declined to join the program.
We were offered $25 million to be a part of 287G. And we said, absolutely no. No. That was me who said that. Turned it down.
Como added that Dallas police have had little interaction with ICE and have not been asked to assist. I'm Megan Cardona in Dallas.
Tarrant County will replace its own rental and utility assistance department with a local nonprofit. As KERA's Miranda Suarez reports, commissioners voted to close the department after county staff said it wasn't using aid money efficiently.
On Tuesday, commissioners voted to give the Center for Transforming Lives a $2.3 million contract. The plan is to offer short-term rent and utility help to people facing eviction and disconnection. Center CEO Carol Klosek says they can reach their goal of serving about 2,000 families in the first year.
We get about 10 to 15 phone calls a day from families already asking for housing assistance.
The center plans to start taking applications on November 1st. For KERA News, I'm Miranda Suarez in Fort Worth.
For many Gen Z and millennials, consuming art means buying Labubus, getting tattoos, and going to Loewe concerts. But this means they're giving less to traditional art institutions like museums and concert halls. As KERA's Elizabeth Mayong reports, it could mean major funding challenges for arts nonprofit groups in the future.
In Fort Worth, an old KKK building is being transformed into a center for arts and racial healing. It's called the Fred Rouse Center, named after a black man who was lynched in the city. The building is still under construction, but young professionals with the Dallas Museum of Art are getting a private tour. It's the type of behind-the-scenes experience that arts groups are offering young donors. Laura Weiss is 38 and the co-chair of the group.
So people can feel like, hey, I made a friend here, and we're now going to this art gallery here as friends.
Weiss is part of an elusive generation that museums and theaters have been failing to attract for years. Overall giving in the U.S. has declined since the Great Recession of 2008. That's according to a report published by Indiana University's Lilly School of Philanthropy. John Bergdahl, who worked on the report, says the arts rates second to last with Gen Z and millennials.
With younger households, giving rates are much lower in general, as are giving amounts.
Last year, nonprofit arts groups nationwide received nearly 60% of their revenue from donations. Much of that comes from wealthy patrons. But data shows young, wealthy donors aren't as interested in giving to the arts as their parents. That's why art groups have been trying to grow their donor base. And Bergdahl says the average young donor simply has less to give.
We know that a lot of basic cost of living stuff like housing and healthcare has risen over that time.
Gen Zer Luis Tiliano is 22. He makes about $55,000 a year working at Bank of America.
Even though I get paid that salary or that wage, I feel like it's even a struggle still to put money towards buying art and things like that.
Like other Gen Z and millennials, not only does Tiliano have less to give, he views the arts differently. Art to him is thrifting or attending a 21 Pilots concert. He's not going to a museum or performance hall.
I personally don't like the idea of investing or putting my money towards those. When I think of those or hear those, I'll be honest, I think of status quo white man setting the tone for it. Kind of like in the idea corporate world, like the jacket, the button up, the tie.
Dallas artist and arts advocate Daryl Ratcliffe says that the traditional way of operating doesn't work for a lot of younger donors. They want more say in how their money is being used.
There's definitely moments I've observed where folks in the younger branch of the larger org feels like they aren't really being truly heard from, the more overall organization leadership.
That's why many small to mid-sized organizations have been trying to connect with the communities they serve. David Lozano is the executive artistic director at KERA Theater.
Our goals are to be able to create that sense of belonging where people feel connected to others in their immediate community.
The theater is known for their inclusive programming that goes beyond performances. However, these efforts haven't led directly to a surge of younger donors. Lozano says to bridge the generational gap, the arts are going to need a bigger vision.
And if we want to see that company sustain itself or even grow and operationalize even more, they're going to need the support of the village that is the people of Dallas, the city government, the foundations, private donors.
The message from Gen Z and millennials is clear. Catch up or be left behind. For KERA News, I'm Elizabeth Mayong in Dallas.
Elizabeth Mayong is a reporter for Arts Access, an arts journalism initiative powered by KERA and the Dallas Morning News. The annual Hay Festival Forum celebrates the power of storytelling with discussions, performances, and screenings. The 3-day event takes place in multiple venues across Oak Cliff and kicks off on Friday at the Wild Detectives bookstore with a conversation with cartoonist and journalist Joe Sacco. To see details and more arts events, head to the Go See DFW calendar at keranews.org/calendar. Thanks for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter. You'll get a more in-depth look into the news with plenty of good morning vibes. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.